PushGapRadio.com. Duncanville, Dallas, Fort Worth.
Live from Hamilton Park, Dallas, Fort Worth, Push Gap Radio.
Girl, you can't how Dallas, Fort Worth, where this is Jackie.
What up, y'all? This is Jackie
Of Shaka Ford 1 and the main event show.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Goes a little something like this.
Shaka Ford 1 and the main event with me, A.D. Jackie O. Heard exclusively on Push Gap Radio. Giving you true scoops.
PushGapRadios.com in Dallas and Fort Worth. Welcome to another edition of Shaka Ford 1 and the main event on PushGapRadios.com out of Dallas, Fort Worth. Here's to Joe Louis today, Dallas, Fort Worth. MAURY POVITCH retires. We're going to break that down. Rent, highest giraffe booty. We're going to explain 4 reasons why that's going on. The KLAN and the skinheads, where you at now that things are falling apart? And white people looking for another planet to live on. We're going to break that down as well. Don't wait until you reach your goal to be proud of yourself. Be proud of every step you take toward reaching your goal. Shaka Ford 1 in the main event on PushGapRadios.com. Dallas, baby.
And it goes a little something like this.
PushGapRadio.com in Dallas and Fort Worth. Welcome to another edition of Shaka Ford 1 in the main event without Jackie O. Jackie O will be back eventually. I told you guys that Jackie O would be coming back. First off, shout out to my class. Gary Horseman, class of 1979. Gary, Indiana, baby. On and motherfucking on. Just so you know. Computer was in the shop, mine. For those of you, if you ever get a thing that wants you to upgrade Google Chrome, don't do it. Do not do it. I'm trying to tell you, player. I set that up on the computer, mine, and had to put the computer in the dang on shop. Predicated on the fact that it was a virus. Cyrus the Virus hit us up over here at Push Gap Mind. Me putting that crap on there. Good Lord. So I had to put the computer in the shop. Cost me $85 to get it cleaned up. So if you get something that says Google or Google Chrome wants you, Firefox even, wants you to update, don't do it. Okay? Please don't do it. Man. What you just heard was Red Grant. Talking about your boy, MAURY POVITCH, who's retiring after 31 years. The 83-year-old MAURY POVITCH is finally setting it down. It's the end of an era for daytime television. After more than 30 years on the air, the tabloid show staple MAURY is coming to an end this fall. MAURY POVITCH, who's possibly best known for dramatically revealing paternity test results that often resulted in hysterical reactions from his guests, is ending his daily talk show after 31 years. Now, check this out. I was a limousine driver here in Dallas, Fort Worth for 15 years. I used to take people to the airport that was going on the MAURY POVITCH show. Now, you know MAURY was famous for what? You are not the father, okay? And then them chicks do the MAURY dash to the back because they are 1,000% sure. You just heard Red Grant, okay? Now, MAURY also, don't forget, MAURY did the lie detector test. The results are in. And the lie detector test determined you are lying. That's a lie. Okay, that was MAURY. MAURY's an icon around here, you know. Always showing the, I hate to say it, but he was always showing the dysfunctional underbelly of America. Particularly with black folk. He kept a lot of black folk on. You know, MAURY keeps a lot of black people on because we're more colorful than other people, you know. We're more colorful. When you get black folk on your show, black folk gonna show their ass. Okay, we already got a little bit more flavor with everything. Okay, and with MAURY and people like him. Now you remember this was trash TV that came about in the late '80s. You remember Phil Donahue and Then Ricky Lake and Sally Jesse Raphael, Jenny Jones, Oprah, of course. Raw black men wasn't shit. Kind of avoided a tete-a-tete with Jackie O last night. One of my favorite YouTube creators is O'Shea Duke Jackson. Now, he's branched out into this thing called Celebrity Junk. I love O'Shea. O'Shea, I wish you would finish up the preacher thing. I watched the 3. What's up, Doc? Okay, I watched the 3. And how you become a preacher, this, that, and the third. I wish you would finish that series. I really would. But Jackie O was on here talking about, well, he's always beating down women. But you don't say shit about when Oprah and Ricky Lake and them was calling black men dogs and black men wasn't shit and this, that, and the third. Nary a utter. Now, you always have black people, black women, let me say. You always have black women. You have The Talk. You have The View. You have Wendy Williams. All these shows. Where's a show for black guys? And when they talk about black men, you have nary a word to utter. But then we found a place on social media where you have, again, O'Shea Duke Jackson and what's my boy name? My boy name will be telling these chicks they ain't ready for Samuel, that they're not ready for a high-level black man, you know? And so I didn't want to get into it with her about that because I would have told Jackie O, and I love Jackie O, my baby, and I would have told her that, you know, you sound like the white folks. You don't want black men to have a place where we can speak. You know, Kevin Samuels is his name. And to me, it's like you're like the white people, black women. Now that we have some brothers who telling us some things, and you think Kevin Samuels telling you something new, Kevin Samuels ain't telling you shit new that black men haven't already known. He's just announcing it on a public platform. Okay. But yeah, MAURY POVITCH is on his way out. You know, he's married to Connie Chung, who was on ABC back in the day. But yeah, in the late 80s, it was the trash TV. Oprah got away from it. You know, MAURY POVITCH wanted to step down back in 2020, but they wanted him to hang around for another 2 years. He's 83 years old now. And he used to host Current Affair. You remember that? The lie detector thing. The lie detector test determined that's a lie. Okay. MAURY has made his mark on such things. Okay. And it was just the biggest thing is the legitimacy of the child. You are not the father. Okay. But yeah, that's my thing. I listen to a lot of black guys who are out there talking about what is going on with black men. And honestly, they're not telling you anything that old black men wasn't telling you in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and 80s. They just don't want black men to have a voice. Now, my thing was when Jackie O was telling me that O'Shea Duke Jackson was beating down, it always seems to be beating down black women, is that when they were telling you black men wasn't shit back in the 80s, never heard a peep out of you black women. Oh, yeah, girl, they right. These niggas is dogs. They ain't shit, this, that, and the third. But now we have a place on social media. The Negro Manosphere, Kevin Samuels, Tommy Sotomayor, okay, Tariq Nasheed. You have people, these brothers are telling you things that we as black men already know, that we discuss when we're amongst ourselves. But MAURY POVITCH is shutting it down after 30 years, ending his daily talk show. After more than 3 decades, making him the longest running daytime talk show host in TV history. Now, originally launched under the title The MAURY POVITCH Show, the series premiered in 1991, soon becoming a syndication hit. POVITCH currently has the record for longest running daytime talk show in broadcast history, as I just told you. And news of the cancellation comes after NBC Universal is also axing the daytime series Judge Jerry Springer. You talk about trash TV. Jerry Springer. I was a Jerry Springer fan, but then you grow out of that at some point, you know. Even with MAURY, you know, because basically you're just denigrating black people. You watch the show, you notice that MAURY had more black people than white people on. Why? Because we're more colorful, man. Black folk gonna show their ass. Whereas white people, with everything else, I told you a couple of weeks ago about the $40 million slave book by William C. Rowland. They just don't have the flair and panache that we have. Okay? Black folk, we just gonna show our ass. Now, a number of other daytime shows have also been pulled. The Talk. Cheryl Underwood, that's about to go under. Ellen DeGeneres is on the way out. The Good Dish. They're talking about getting rid of Nick Cannon. I haven't really watched Nick Cannon's show. But the little bits and pieces that I have caught, you know, I'm a Nick Cannon fan, but between work and getting home at 1 and 2 in the morning, don't really have time. Wendy Williams, she can't even do her show anymore. Now, they've had other people to replace Wendy Williams, but my favorite is Sherri Shepherd. And from what I understand, Sherri Shepherd is getting the green light for her own show. How you doing? Okay. Wendy has run her course. Everything runs its course. Nothing lasts forever. Everything comes to pass for those of you who are into the Bible and white Jesus. Nothing comes to stay. Everything comes to pass. Now, MAURY says 6 years ago when he's ready to retire, NBC Universal asked him to continue the show for 2 more years. So he did. But MAURY said, you know, for all the years he's worked on the show, he occasionally tells his guests that enough is enough. 31 years. He's 83. It's time to smell the roses. You know? Time to smell the roses. So they're getting rid of a few people. Remember, he also had the boot camp thing where he had these freaking kids that were out of control and brought the black drill sergeant in. Remember that? That remains popular still. But there's always dysfunctional black people, mine. A lot of dysfunction in the black community. I told you on the show before I put the computer in the shop to get fixed for the Cyrus the virus. Okay. So always the dysfunction of black people. They like showing the bad side. We don't get to show the good side of black people because we have no media. Particularly as a black man. Name me a black man on television that's a voice for us. I'm not talking about Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey worked for them folk. He's skinning and grinning for his check. I mean, a brother that gets on there, let's say like, I don't know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Someone that's going to tell you the truth. So Jackie O said that he, O'Shea Duke Jackson, was beating down the sisters, and that's not what it is, you know. He's just telling you things we as black men already know, but now that he says it's on a public level, you know, on a public platform, then she thinks that's what it is, and that's not what it is, you know. I just didn't want to get into a tete-a-tete, you know. I love Jackie O. That's my sugar bear. But where's a show for black men on national television in America that speaks for us? New Edition. Her New Edition been out there showing they ass, mine. New Edition has been out there with Uncle Charlie. Charlie Wilson from Gap Band, Jodeci. And they said that after success and then struggle, R&B legends New Edition finally enjoyed a victory lap. 1997, New Edition, the most gifted vocal group since the Jackson 5, was imploding. Where are the black groups? Where Where are the black groups? White people, that K-pop over there out of Korea, country music. Everyone has groups. Where are our groups? Now, what you may or may not know, that Harvard University did a study back in the late 70s to find out how to control black music. They found out, shout out to Gary, Indiana, on and on and on. I will always be loyal to the 219. The way to control black music was through distribution. Sam Cooke, Michael Jackson, Prince, all those who wanted to own their own, they're gone. They're gone. See, distribution is how you control the music. If you don't make the music that I want to hear, then I will not distribute your music. We do not have our own distribution. We don't have any ships, planes, railroads. Black folk don't have anything for distribution. You talk about crack being in the black community. How did it get here? We're not making poppy seeds here in America. There's no cocaine or heroin being grown here in America. And if it is, black people don't own it. And if there's a distribution channel for it, we damn sure don't own it. But black music, man. You got New Edition. People have been saying, I've watched their deal on YouTube. Saw Bobby Brown walk his ass off again. Now, they say Bobby Brown may be having some health issues, maybe a mild stroke or something. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I went to see Bobby Brown some years ago in the early 2000s. He left the stage then. Now, Bobby's been through a lot. Don't get me wrong. You know, Bobby Brown has had children dying and the death of Whitney Houston. And, you know, I don't know if he's had a stroke or something like that. But Bobby Brown's been through a lot. But wouldn't you man up and say, hey, fellas, I don't want to put you in a bad spot or embarrass you or whatever, so I'm just not going to do the tour. Maybe he needs the money. I don't know. He was divorced from Whitney. Whitney has an amazing catalog of music. I quit smoking and went to the vape. It's fucking me up, too. I got to quit messing with it. But New Edition, Ralph Tresvant, Ronnie DeVoe, Bobby Brown, Ricky Bell, Michael Bivins, and Johnny Gill. The Home Again reunion tour was supposed to be a victory lap. Since making their 1983 debut with their wide-eyed bubblegum jam Candy Girl, New Edition, the young singers from Boston's Tough Orchard Park projects had beaten the odds to sell over 20 million records worldwide, highlighted by their self-entitled breakthrough 1984, the dramatic All for Love. 1985, the landmark Jimmy Jam Terry Lewis produced Heartbreak. Well, All for Love was in 85. Heartbreak was in 88. Johnny Gill from Washington, D.C. joined the group in 1987. You know, that's when Bobby went to My Prerogative. And now, I got to admit, Bobby was banging. You sit there with your fang up your butt all you want to. Bobby was banging. I think about Ronnie. Yeah, Ronnie was banging. My Prerogative. Now, with New Edition, after scoring their first #1 album on the Billboard 200 charts with 1996's Home Again with a string of solo successes, you know, Ralph Tresvant went out on his own. Belle Biv DeVoe broke out. New Edition was ready for its coronation as R&B icons. Instead, the 1997 shows were a full-blown disaster. Bobby Brown, who married pop superstar Whitney Houston in 1992, and whose issues with drugs and alcohol and run-ins with the law made him the subject of tabloid headlines and the butt of late-night jokes. I remember in one of Tyler Perry's movies, we had Judge Maybelline in there, and Bobby came out, Whitney back there yelling, I love you, Bobby. Tone it down, Miss Houston. We're not going to have that in my court. But yeah, people made jokes about Whitney and Bobby. Come to find out, it wasn't Bobby that got Whitney hooked on the drugs. It was vice versa because Whitney's brother got her hooked on the drugs. She drugged Bobby into it. Now, Bobby has suffered a heart attack just 2 weeks before the tour kicked off. So I told you he had some kind of health issues going on. That's why he would be on stage for a while and walk off. But you got to be man enough not to embarrass your boys. Let me find something else to do. Let me come out for 1 or 2 songs if I still need to make my money. But I don't want to get out here with my boys. We're going through the routine that we've all practiced hard for and start walking off the damn stage, man. Now, during the course of the tour, each New Edition member traveled on separate buses. Now, that's sad. How is their team building if we're all on separate buses, man? That means you got to do what you got to do, which means each and every one of them must need the money. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Okay. But they all traveled on separate buses. At one show in La Cruces, New Mexico, Bobby, DeVoe, and their entourage got into a fight on stage. Security teams for the 2 camps pulled guns on each other. You know, nigga shit. Comedian Samore said it better. If they want us to quit saying nigga, then how are we going to explain nigga shit? Okay. But they said we're uniquely positioned to work with the artists because we're from similar spaces and places as the talent we seek as partners. That was said by Shelby Joyner, who was a co-partner of BIPOC Artists Productions. Now, for us as black people, New Edition has been at the forefront of our lives for a very long time. Now, the group is scheduled to be one of the headliners at this summer's Essence Fest in New Orleans. Went to Essence Fest in 2003. First time, last time ever went to Essence Fest. Of course, Frankie Beverly and Mays turned it out. Them people ain't put out an album since they made the Live in New Orleans joint. Where are the black groups? Name me a black group right now. I'll wait. Where are the black groups? It's sad. Where are the black groups? But what they're saying here is that they're going to be the headliners at this summer's Essence Fest in New Orleans in 2022 at Caesar Superdome. Used to be the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, where the New Orleans Saints play. In addition to the current tour, New Edition is recording tracks for what they hope will be an upcoming reunion album, and there are plans for a Las Vegas residency this year. How would you feel about doing a residency in Vegas? People come to Caesar's Palace or whatever, and you're doing what? 2, 3 shows a night, 5, 6 days a week. Steady money. Steady money. Do you think Michael Jackson would have done a residency? Janet Jackson did one for a little while. Britney Spears. Celine Dion. But how would you feel about 2 shows, 3 shows a night, 5, 6 days a week? I went to see New Edition. I've seen New Edition twice. At Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas, before they tore it down. And in Grand Prairie, out there at their complex out there. If you live in DFW, it's out there off 30 and Beltline. You know what I'm talking about. Now, meanwhile, in May, the A&E channel will air a 2-part documentary biography Bobby Brown that would serve as a lead to a 12-episode reality series, Bobby Brown, Every Little Step. They already did a Bobby Brown, Joe Louis down. Did you watch the New Edition deal on one of the shows, BET, A&E? There's a Bobby Brown deal, too. How many times can you tell Bobby's story? Now, if DeVoe has his way, New Edition will be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2023, just in time for the group's 40th anniversary. 40 years! You old bastard. See, because I was stationed in Fort Riley, Kansas. I was coming home. I was driving through Kansas City on my way from Fort Riley, Kansas to Gary, Indiana. It's back in 82, 83. And I heard Candy Girl on the radio as I was passing through Kansas City, Missouri. Because I know you Kansas City guys, Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas. They used to fight when we was in the military, and no one gave a damn. It's Kansas City. They cared, but we didn't. We weren't from Kansas City. Didn't give a shit. But I heard Candy Girl, and being from Gary, Indiana, what's my first response? It sounded like the Jacksons. Sounds like the Jackson 5. But what is your favorite New Edition song? My favorite New Edition song is I can't say it off my head. When they locked the producer guy in the room and they was rehearsing. If It Isn't Love, that's my favorite New Edition song. Because if it isn't love, I love the video. Because the video shows that, we trying to get it done, but you sitting here working my fucking nerves. Okay? So then when you leave, okay, now let's put in the work and get this shit over with. If It Isn't Love. When I was at Reunion Arena, they rose up out of the floor in white suits, New Edition did. Because if it isn't love, showed their ass. Today, Reunion Arena is gone. Dallas Mavericks play in a new facility owned by Mark Cuban. But they're looking to enter into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2023. They should be a first ballot in. And they said they're speaking that into existence. It's definitely going to be a home run. Where are the groups? For black people. We ain't running shit. That's why there are no groups. You got these mumble rappers. Everyone wants to lay their dick on your forehead, or where do you see my dick, or let me get that punani, or, gross shit. See, music back when we were coming along was all about you using your imagination. What Teddy Pendergrass said? Turn off the lights and light a candle. You gotta leave something to the imagination. Now, Cardi B comes out, her and Megan Thee Stallion come out with WAP. That wet-ass punani. Leaving nothing to the imagination. A lot of these black artists, they're not even us. ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery. They're from somewhere else. But then they lump us in with these people. You're not us. So you can make such music and such statements and comments. I really got to leave the vape alone. The vape is beating me down. There's something in it that's messing with my throat in the morning. I've done good without buying the cigarettes. Cigarettes have went up $7, $8. I quit smoking 3 months ago. I'm doing good there. But my thing is, when I drink my coffee in the morning, I'd be smoking the White Owl cigars or the Black and Milds, but they don't, The vape is killing me, mine. So I got off the vape for a month. I bought this one like 2 days ago. But I think whatever's converting it into the smoke is what's disturbing my throat, you know? I don't know. Rent, the non-musical. Housing prices are skyrocketing, fam. Housing is a basic need and a human right. Even animals have a home. How in the fuck is the U.S. government letting these people buy up all this stuff and got us sitting on the sidelines worried about where we gonna live? You got REDFIN, ZILLOW, BlackRock sitting on 20 million homes to rent out. You got old folk in their 60s, 70s, and 80s getting kicked out of their apartments. Apartments they could afford when they got in there. They say there are 4 reasons that your rent is going up. Rent, the non-musical. The hell is wrong with our government? In other parts of the world, companies aren't even allowed to buy houses like that. It's a basic human right, man. But in America, because white folks so fucking greedy, you know, capitalism. Living in a home gives you stability. Okay? 20 million homes are being set on by these people. And BlackRock, Zillow, and REDFIN are not putting the houses out for sale for millennials and Generation Xers. They're putting them out to rent. This one guy, you fucking idiot, is sitting here talking about, well, people would rather rent than own. Nigga, where you been? And for you to make that statement, I bet you own your home. I bet the home you and your family live in, you own. Whether you paying a mortgage to the bank or you own it outright. Who you think that's stupid? Simply put, there is more demand than supply. Now, here are 4 reasons that your rent is going up. More people are looking for their own space as the pandemic wears on. How come we ain't talking about the Rona no more? We talk about the war, daylight savings time, anything but the Rona. Rents are rising nationwide. Average rental listings jumped 14% last year in 2021 to $1,877. Now, there are people whose rent was $600, $800 who are now having to pay $1,500, $1,600, $1,800. Retired people on a fixed income, you know, your mama, your grandmama, your granddaddy, your uncle. Fixed income. They're the largest group that are becoming homeless. Cities such as Austin, Texas, New York, Miami, Florida are posting increases of 30 to 40% according to real estate firm Redfin, who's sitting on houses themselves. So in Dallas, Texas, in the state of Texas, you have these people that are coming in here from California, okay? Sipping on vodka and cranberry juice. Do that on my off days since I can't blow that ooh-wee no more. These people are coming in from Arizona, California, New York, where rent was highest giraffe booty. So me, as a Texan, I've been here 36 years, from Gary, Indiana originally. 219, baby, on and on and on. So let's say there's a home for $260,000, $280,000. All right, I can afford that. But now that these people have come in and sold these little shitty ass houses, these little shitty ass Mexican houses in California for $800,000, $1 million, $1.5 million, a freaking garage. So the house that's $280,000, they'll come in and they'll have $350,000 cash. They're from New York, California, places of this ilk. Because here in Dallas, Texas, you could go out and there were all kind of banners and whatnot in front of apartments that you could move in, first month free, this, that, and the third. But Toyota has moved here in Plano, Texas, north of here, you know, where the white folks live. And these people, to them, the houses are a steal. So me trying to get a mortgage, even with VA, you want me to pay $325,000 for a Mexican house. Now, when I say Mexican house, I mean one of these little small houses that the Mexicans live in. They come here from Guadalajara, whatever. Dirt floors, thatch roof. So they come to Dallas. This little house here is $160,000. Me as a black person, my house is like $250,000. You know, I'm from here. To them, that's a great house because that's not what they had where they came from. But me, I've lived in America. I'm an American. I'm not going to pay you that for that house. I'm not. The house I'm going to live in is 2,500 square feet, 2 living areas, 2 eating areas, a nice backyard, a home office, 3, maybe 4 bedrooms. But now you want me to pay $325 fucking dollars for a Mexican house. So we're talking with a guy, Jackie O and I. We got 60 days to move out. If you have a rental here in the Cedar Hill, Duncanville, DeSoto, Glen Heights, Lancaster area, hit us up. Go to reinventingpushgapradios.com on our Facebook. Or if there's a comment thing here on the YouTube page, hit us up. We're working with a guy, Cameron Butler, right now, who keeps telling us that, well, it's going to keep going up. No, it's not. Housing is off the chain right now. Let me explain something to you. When I was 14, 15 years old, the VCR came out. We're talking 1973, 74. And I told my mom, wow, it'd be nice to have one of those, a VCR. She said, yeah, well, we're going to wait till it come down. I'm like, well, what do you mean? My mom said, well, the rich people, the audiophiles, the connoisseurs of such things, right now they're selling them to them. But you only have so many of them. At some point, you have to bring it down so that it's affordable for the masses. At one point, you could get a VCR for $20. You're not going to make your money off the rich people. And right now, that's what's going on with housing. You're trying to get the people that are making the money and whatnot to pay for these homes, the rent that are coming from places where rent and mortgages were high as giraffe booty. How many of those people do you have? Then, when the housing market went down in 2008, by 2010, they quit building homes. When the pandemic hit, the essays went back to Mexico, went back south of the border. They weren't here to build homes. I myself think it was by design. Well, if we don't build no houses at some point, we're going to have more people needing houses, and then we can make our money. Fuck America for letting such a thing happen. You worked your life for the American dream. You put in the hours, you put in the dedication, you wave the flag. Now you're in your 60s, 70s, and 80s and can't afford a place to live. Fuck America. But the problem lies with you white people. You let it happen. See, white people voted to get rid of health care because they thought blacks was getting it, black and brown people. White people voted to get away from social services, welfare, food stamps, and whatnot because they thought it was being abused by black and brown people. White people agreed to send jobs overseas because they thought their jobs were being stolen by black and brown people. They didn't give a damn about Noriega and crack being in the black community, long as it wasn't in their communities. Now they have an opioid problem. See, what white folk don't understand, you just the last one to get hit. Because after we get past the racism of black and brown people, it becomes classism. Your ass is poor too. They don't give a shit about your poor white trash ass. Donald Trump takes a dump on a gold toilet. Do you think he gives a shit about you? Now, all of you KLAN members and all of you skinheads and all of you white boys with the rifles on your shoulder in Starbucks, where are you? You stormed the Capitol last year, January 6th. You're just the last one to get hit. Why is it now there's an opioid problem? It's medical and not criminal. When it was black folk on crack, it was criminal. Send them niggas to jail. Send these motherfuckers to jail too. But now they need to get treatment. Narcan, which is done by a doctor. Now they want you to carry the shit around in your pocket. So when you find one of these fragile ass white people overdosing on fentanyl and fucking heroin, you can save their lives. But we had to go to jail. You see how it go, black people? Now we at war. Where the KLAN at? Where the skinheads? We at war. Russia is bombing Ukraine. Fuck Ukraine. That's from the black people. That's for the black people who can't tell you that at work or tell you that in polite society or in mixed company. Fuck Ukraine. You don't care about us. What's the guy named Cougar who produced Black Panther, who went into the bank to take out some money, and here come the police? Did you hear the story about the Uber Eats driver, DoorDash driver? Police pulled him over. The black guy wanted to see the supervisor, and he tased him. You hear the story about the black store owner who called the police? They came in and beat his ass. He owns the store. Fuck Ukraine. I'm from Gary, Indiana. And Michael Jackson said it best. All I want to say is that they don't give a damn about us. So fuck Ukraine. I hope they continue to bomb you motherfuckers. Look how you treated them Africans over there. There's a war going on, but that didn't stop your racism, did it? But we're talking about homes. We're talking about homes. Rents really shot up in the second half of 2021, according to Daryl Fairweather, REDFIN's chief economist. The pandemic was kind of a pause on the economy, and now that things are reopening, inflation is picking up, rents are going up, and people are realizing they don't have as much disposable income as they might have thought they had. Now, Granddaddy Joe Biden, Wilfred Brimley, said that the American people are on board with higher gas prices in order to support Ukraine. What the fuck they at? What a nigga at that's willing to pay $5, $6, $7 a gallon for fucking Ukraine? I ain't met him. Everyone I meet is bitching about the gas prices. But according to you, there are white folk around here that are totally on board with paying more for gas for some folk way across the goddamn world, while your food prices, your rent, your gas, everything is going up except your paycheck. But you're on board. Maybe it's just propaganda, huh? One reason for the high rents is booming demand as more people want to live on their own. Many Americans say they're seeing big swings as they prepare to renew their leases. What's behind these increases? Here are 4 reasons your monthly payment is going up. 1 is booming demand as more people want to live on their own. 2, a pricey and competitive housing market that has locked out many would-be home buyers. The housing market has become incredibly competitive during the pandemic. The median home sale price rose nearly 17% last year to a record $346,900, according to the National Association of Realtors. But as the wealthy scooped up second homes and investment properties, home ownership has become increasingly out of reach for many others. Gen Xers, millennials. They estimate that nearly 1 million U.S. renters were priced out of the housing market last year because of rising prices and competition from all-cash offers. Redfin, Zillow, BlackRock, just to name a few. A 2,600 square feet home, 3-4 bedrooms, that would have cost you $250,000, $280,000 in Dallas and Fort Worth. Now it's costing you $325,000, $350,000, damn near $400,000 fucking dollars. And the American government, capitalism, allows it to happen. Because these people are coming from other places offering cash. They're moving to the Sunbelt areas from up north, New York, Chicago, Cali. And they're moving to places like Atlanta, Virginia, Texas, and whatnot. Austin, Texas, here in the great state of Texas. Well, real estate was dirt cheap. I remember my boss, when I worked for him, I started working for him in 2005. He moved here from Brooklyn, New York, lived in a rent-controlled apartment. Said he sold his apartment, came to Texas. The house he bought in Allen, Texas was like $250,000, $280,000. He said that's a $1.5 million house back in New York, paid cash. He said he couldn't believe it. That was back in 2005. He moved here in the late 90s. Number 3 reason that your rent is going up: expiration of rent freezes and other measures that help keep rents low early in the pandemic. Early in the pandemic, many cities, states, and management companies placed limits on rent increases. And in some cases, froze prices altogether. But as those measures expired, many renters say their landlords are factoring in 2 years' worth of rent increases, trying to make their loot back. So when the moratorium was going on, I got to make that back. We look at the people who are renting, but do we ever look at the landlord? They still have to pay. Their payment doesn't stop because the renter's payment stopped. No one looks at that. And I look at it from both ways. The renters, they've been laid off, this, that, and the third. But the landlord, there was no moratorium for them, really. They had to continue to pay taxes on this place. They had to continue to pay their rent on this place. We're still at the number 3 reason, expiration of rent freezes and other measures that help keep rents low in the pandemic. Last year, when local rent freezes lifted in Frederick, Maryland, this lady and her husband received notice that their monthly rent would be rising by $300 or 25%, which was much higher than the past hikes. Rent hikes, when you renew your lease, rent hikes are either 5 or 10%. Now you're talking 50, 25, 75%. How does your rent go from $800 a month to $1,600 a month? You can't afford that. That's why the fuck you in this $800 a month space. The building had also tacked on about $200 in extra amenity fees, making the one bedroom unaffordable for the doctoral students. They were in college. Ended up moving to a studio apartment in a neighboring county. You can't afford the rent. Because the rent is high as giraffe pussy. The number 4 reason your rent is going up, more wealthy renters. All of a sudden, high-paying jobs have given people a whole lot of flexibility to move. There's been an influx of renters looking for 1 to 6 month leases while they try out new cities. Now you can work from home. You don't have to live in L.A., San Francisco, New York. You can move to Virginia, Atlanta, Texas, Florida. Florida and Texas have no state income taxes. So if you can work from home, you can live anywhere. Only problem with that, because you don't live where the company is located, like let's say Google or Facebook in California, then we're not going to pay you California money. You move to South Carolina, we're going to reduce your pay. I'm doing the same work, but you're going to reduce my pay predicated on where I live. It's all a scam. Number 4 reason your rent is going up, more wealthy renters. All of a sudden, high-paying jobs have given people a whole lot of flexibility to move. And there's been an influx of people looking for 1 to 6 month leases as they try out a new city. That wealthier demographic is driving a lot of the heat in the rental market right now. They're the ones with the dollars to throw around to compete for the limited inventory. Again, Zillow, REDFIN, BlackRock, they're sitting on 20 million homes. Sitting on them. And we're still 5 million homes short in the market. Are you listening? The money would come from previously approved spending for combating COVID that would help people with their rents. But that shit there going to the Ukraine. We're going to get into that. They're giving Ukraine $14 billion. Ain't giving you shit, though, as you become homeless. REDFIN, Zillow, and BlackRock are buying up properties with cash offers. And it's sad. When it's time for you to get your tax dollars, it's called a fucking handout. When companies need it, it's called a bailout. When you give it to Ukraine, it's called humanitarianism. Your tax dollar But to give it to you, you're a fucking bum. You're a lame. You ain't shit. You lazy. But we'll give it to AT&T. We'll give it to American Airlines. We'll give it to Google. How is it these people tell you should have 6 months of savings, but 30 days after a pandemic, they're looking for a bailout? Told you about the aid to Ukraine. It's between $14 billion to $1.5 trillion of your tax dollars. Don't you need somewhere to live? Can you afford to buy food? Ain't gas high as giraffe booty? Look at all the problems you have, and your tax dollars is going across the water. You want to tell me that gas prices are high because of Russia invading Ukraine, yet America has one of the largest oil reserves on the planet? The reason that we import our oil from other places is so we don't use our own. When we get done sucking up your shit, then we'll break out ours. Break out ours now. The American public needs it. Sleepy Joe is a fucking idiot. Kamala Harris is an idiot. Didn't go on when Trump was in office. It didn't go on. None of this happened. So how do we keep you distracted from high oil prices, food prices going up, housing prices going up, your grandmama, your auntie, your uncle, your granddaddy becoming homeless? They done worked all their fucking lives and they're living in a freaking apartment. I'm 61 years old. Do you know that when I was going to my grandmama house, my auntie house, my uncle house, listen to the words. I was going to their house. I ain't never went to none of my family members in the 70s who lived in a fucking apartment. Now, you make more money than they did. I don't know if we could adjust that for inflation. But if you're making $5,000, $6,000 a month, you still can't afford a damn house. What a KLAN at? One of them boys that stormed the Capitol last year, where they at? You stormed the Capitol for Donald Trump, but you're being ass raped by your government because Sleepy Joe don't know what the hell he doing. Where you at? Break the hoods out. You will not replace us. Wasn't that the Skinheads? You will not replace us. You in California, gas prices high in the dog. Right here in Dallas right now, gas was up to $3.99, $4 and some change. One place was at $4.49. As of today, March 22nd, gas prices have dropped down to like $3.79. But what about places like California and whatnot? That shit $5, $6 a gallon. Further north you go, they don't have any oil refineries. That shit high as hell. What the government talking about? Daylight savings time. Daylight savings time. Do you give a shit about daylight savings time? Now, the Democrats say that we should turn the clocks forward and keep them there. The Republicans say we should turn the clocks back to 70 years ago. You as a black person, when has it ever been a great time in America? What are skinheads and the KLAN at? And the rest of you fucking racists who love this country so fucking much. Where you at? There was just a tornado down here in Texas that destroyed their homes. Again, white folk just the last ones to get hit. They get you to come in and agree on this shit. We need to get rid of welfare because the niggas is taking advantage. But every time on the news they show you someone abusing the welfare system, who is it? It's them folk. Why aren't you storming the Capitol now? How come we don't get to meet the people who agreed to pay higher gas prices for fucking Ukraine? So when someone comes and starts stealing your gas, what the fuck are you upset about? You here for Ukraine, right? You back in Ukraine, right? You stupid motherfuckers. Leah Thomas, male swimmer, is now a woman. A little more than 3 months after the possibility first arose, Leah Thomas captured a title while representing the University of Pennsylvania at the NCAA Women's Swimming and Diving Championships. Most times, a national championship should be celebrated. The athlete commended for her hard work, dedication, and discipline. Now, Leah Thomas is a dude. He was ranked nationally 445th in America as a man swimmer. He converted to a female. And this punk ass is number one. Dude stole a college swimming championship from women. Aqua Dick. Some people are calling him. I didn't make it up. I'm just delivering the news. Okay. Just delivering the freaking news. Aqua Dick is what they call him. How are you letting transgenders perform in women's sports? And genetically, you're still a man. I don't care that you whacked off your tallywhacker. Genetically, you're still a man. Bigger bone structure, more muscle density. Shit's crazy. He swam against some guy named Isaac Henning, who's also trying to become a female. Now, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said that he will issue a proclamation acknowledging that the runner-up in the recent NCAA women's 500-yard freestyle swimming event as the winner instead of the transgender athlete Leah Thomas. So you're a guy who wants to be a female. Genetically, you're still a man. So boxing, track, swimming, women's competition, tennis, whatever. You're not shit as a guy. You're a fucking bum. So now you're going to go down here with the women. That's like if I was a crappy swimmer, now I go over here to the kiddie pool and I compete. Now, what Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is saying is that they're doing a proclamation that says that Emma Wyatt is the best female swimmer in the 500-yard freestyle event on last week. She earned that, and we need to stop allowing organizations like the NCAA to perpetrate frauds on the public. I agree with that. I totally agree with all of that. You couldn't compete as a man. Now, what do you think happens when you go in as a boxer against other female boxers. Think Layla Ali, Muhammad Ali's daughter. Did you see her son? He looks just like the champ. It was amazing. Jackie O showed it to me. For those of you who listen to the show, and I be talking about Jackie O, used to be shocked for one in the main event with Jackie O, but we've been going through a lot here over the last few months. I've switched jobs and things of that nature. Jackie O will be back. We're looking to move right now. We're in the double wide here, and our rent is up at the end of May. So we're looking to move. Jackie O will be back to do some guest spots or whatever. So you'll be saying, who the hell is Jackie O? He's always talking about Jackie O. That's my sugar bear. That's my baby. That's my wife. But she needs to stay out of black men on social media, on YouTube. But Jackie O is right about one thing. How are you guys coming down, whether you whacked off your tallywhacker or not, and competing against women? You bitch made. You can't compete with the big boys. Now, my podcast is not blowing up like that. We've been off the air for months because, again, I've changed jobs back in November. A lot of things have been going on. That's why we haven't been on. And just want to thank you people, the 10 people last week who downloaded the show. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you so very much. But I'm not dropping down to compete with no females. I'm trying to compete at my level. And I sure as fuck ain't whacking off my goddamn tallywhacker. So Will Smith's son said, I'm going to cut off my Joe Louis. Nigga, no you ain't. You a youngster right now. You'll change your mind in your mid to late 20s. I sure wish I hadn't cut it off. I know. But how are you letting these men compete against the women? America is on the way down, okay? That's what I say. No great empire rules forever. Rome fell. The Chinese dynasties fell. Great Britain fell. And now it's America's turn. America ain't shit. Oh, well, Shaq, it's the best country on the planet. That's what they feed you. Because you as a black person singing the national anthem, how come we never sing the third stanza of the national anthem? Well, your black ass will be a slave to the grave. How come we never sing that part? Because I don't want you to know. This is where critical race theory comes from. Critical race theory is this. That the vodka and cranberry juice right there, boy. And that's the vape I got to get rid of. But when I drink coffee or have a drink, I like to puff a little something. I can't find a cigar that matches that for me. But America is on its way down. Nothing lasts forever. Everything comes to pass. Have you read your Bible with white Jesus in it? Everything comes to pass. Look at the leadership in America. Sleepy Joe. If your dumb ass don't think Sleepy Joe got dementia like your fucking grandmama, your granddaddy, then you're a fucking idiot. And just as fucking stupid is Kamala Harris. That's why New Black Media ran her ass out January of last year. That's why she fell out. New Black Media shut her down. I'm not going to do anything just for black people. No. Well, bitch, we ain't going to do shit for you either. America is on the way down. You look at leadership, whether you're at your job, in the military, undertaking a project, in your church, wherever you are. Look at the leadership, and that will tell you where you're going. If leadership is crap, that which you are undertaking is crap as well. So you went from Clinton to Bush, Trump, well, Barack kind of held it up for 8 years. You let the black guy fix it. And like I told people, they're not going to elect another minority. And they elected Trump. Did you ever think about this? The reason why Putin is going into Ukraine. He doesn't want Ukraine part of NATO. The reason he doesn't want the Ukraine a part of NATO, because he doesn't want NATO or America to have military installations on its borders. Think about this. Russia is not a part of the central bank, the Rothschilds and whatnot. They don't have a central bank. And if the central banks cannot control your money, then we're going to shut you down. We're going to put a bullet in your head. Trump didn't want any part of the New World Order. Putin doesn't want a part of the New World Order. Now what I'm telling you will get this video shut down. Putin does not want to be a part of the New World Order. Neither did Trump. Neither does Xi Jinping, whatever his name is, over there in fucking China. The fiat currency. I know a lot of you slaves don't know what the fuck the fiat currency is. So I'll explain. The fiat currency is you have to convert your dollar globally to the US dollar in order to purchase oil on the world market. China is using the yuan, their own dollar, which is backed by gold. America's dollar is not backed by anything. You just print this shit like monopoly money. Richard Nixon took us off the gold standard back in 1972-73. Look it up. So we're not backed by anything. So now Russia has gotten on to the Chinese way of doing things. Now Saudi Arabia is looking to do the same thing. What the fuck does your stupid ass think gonna happen when they send all that American currency back to America because we are no longer the fiat currency? The dollar already ain't worth shit. Now when all them dollars pour back into America, the US dollar will be worth 25 cents, maybe 10 cents. That's why they want to put Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. Because the US dollar ain't finna be about shit. But you don't know that because they distract you with all the other shit. We're not distracted here. See, I research a lot of shit because I need to know what's going on globally, and I need to know what's going on nationally. I need to know what's going on locally so that I could adjust my life accordingly. I bought into Peloton when I found out 2 years ago that the guy, the president, the CEO of Peloton, 2:30 in the morning, I had smoked a blunt, Jackie O was asleep, smoked a stick of that ooh-wee. And the lady said, well, Peloton is a great company. Y'all make great bikes. The guy, the CEO said, well, that's a misconception. We don't make bikes. We make software. And we create communities. I called my guy at Edward Jones. I said, well, I want you to take my money and put it into Peloton. Well, Clifton, why do you want to do that? Peloton, and he shut the fuck up. I put my money into Peloton. After a year or so, this little kid got stuck under one of Peloton's treadmills. You remember the movie Sex in the City? The guy Big, who was with Sarah, what's her name, who's married to Matthew Broderick. He had a heart attack on the bike during one of the shows. So between him and the little kid, the stock started going down. I had my guy sell the stock. I had him cash me out and send me my money. The stock had tripled in value. He's like, Clifton, how did you know that? Because I don't listen to mainstream media. I research people who are just like me. Now, the guy, Cameron, who's going to help us find a rental home for $2,000 a month or less. Why in the fuck am I paying $2,000 for a rental home? He's trying to convince us to buy a house because it's only going to go up. No, Cameron, it's not. We'll go rent a home for 2 months. For 2 years. What do you think's going to happen to the rental market? You're charging all this money for rentals because you're sitting on 20 million homes. The American people are going to do what they've always done and pivot and find another way to get around your stupid ass. Now you're sitting on 20 million homes that you cannot rent. Now you got to put them hoes on the market. Now you still going to have them high as giraffe booty and ain't nobody going to buy them. See, you think that you can fuck over the people because you're out of touch with reality. And you know, as black people, we know how to work the system because we were taught by our grandmama, our great-grandmama, our 3-time great, our 5-time great-grandparent on how to survive. Food prices going up, find a nigga with food stamps. I'll give you $200 for $400 worth of food stamps. See, we're not going to commit suicide as black people because we know how to survive. I noticed one time, a couple of years ago, you tried to say the suicide rate amongst black people had went up. Don't no black person believe that. As rough as we had it, why in the fuck would we kill ourselves? You have a few who think they're white because they hang around white people. White people wanted a blue Volkswagen. They got a green one, so they kill themselves. They commit some kind of crime. They don't want to be a man and stand up and do the time for their crime, so they commit suicide. They'll jump off a roof. They'll put a bullet in their head. I don't know a black person that's committed suicide. I'm 61 years old. Now, they say Don Cornelius did. He's an anomaly. Was that Robin Williams or one of the actors who was caught beating his meat and choking himself? Or was that the guy from Kung Fu or whatever? Don't care. You people are fragile. Your psyche is fragile. As black folk, we gonna make it. White folk looking for a new planet to live on. I'd be glad when you find it and get the fuck on away from around here. Because the Somalians, the Indians, the black people, the Aborigines, everybody else just wants to live in peace with the planet. Like the Indians said, how did we have everything, buffalo to eat, housing, everything was free? Then the white man comes along and everything cost. And you think that's a better life? That's not the way it is. It's not a better life. White people come in and want to charge for everything. I hope you find a planet to go to. When you find a planet that will sustain you like Earth does, me, Shaka Ford 1, here at pushgapradios.com will set up a fucking collection to raise money to get you the fuck out of here. Fragile psyche. Now you want to go fuck up another planet. If you leave the planet, how much harmonious would it be on the planet? You leave and take white supremacy with you. Everybody else just wants to live. You've divided this country. You divided this planet. And for those of you who are ADOS, black, I'm sick of you being fucking stupid. What person gave you shitty living but then gave you white Jesus? If I don't live on earth with, I don't want to live on earth with you, why in the fuck do I want to live in heaven with you either? But if you believe, that's your business. Believe. If that helps you. As I drive around Dallas, Texas, I drive past these white places over by SMU, Southern Methodist University, over off 75 and Mockingbird area and whatnot, Knox Henderson. And I see the crowds of white people waiting to go into the clubs, and then I see the sprinkling of black people. You really think these white people give a shit about you? Because soon as something goes down, when the police come in, they're going to handcuff you first, even though the white person attacked you. Wake up. It's all by design. Somebody's making money keeping us separated, blacks against white. And it's sad. Again, look at housing. Look at gas prices. Again, who are the white people who agreed that I'm willing to pay more for gas to support Ukraine? Then go over Ukraine and fight and leave the gas prices alone to the people who don't give a fuck about Ukraine. Food prices high as hell. Again, you white boys standing up in here in these different places with a rifle strapped on your back, a pistol strapped to your side. It's real easy to play big shot when ain't nobody shooting back at you. Go to Ukraine and help them fight and get the gas prices down. Get the food prices down. Get the rent down. I told you once, I'll tell you again. White people just the last ones to get hit. Whether it be food, gas, drugs, jobs, housing. You just the last one to get hit. You stupid motherfucker. But you don't see that. Well, yeah, the niggas is getting all the money. We don't need the niggas to be taking advantage. I'll help people who need help, but I ain't gonna help no lazy motherfucker. I watched Everything's Gonna Be All White on Showtime. And the guy said, well, do you think all white people in America should pay for reparations? And the guy was like, well, if you from Sweden or whatever, no. Yeah, if you from Sweden, yeah, you should. Because you moved here to take advantage of the shit that my people made available. Look at black actors. The guy that here played Martin Luther King Jr. He from London. You ain't us. You're a different black person. Where is your 5-time great-grandmama buried at? She ain't buried in Tennessee, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas. You ain't us. Your people came over here on a plane. We can't go to your country and fight and get any kind of resources. Take your black ass to Ukraine and try to fight, and then now we want some land and shit. You ain't us. It's lineage. American descendants of slavery. You ain't us. I can't go to Nigeria or Ghana or Bahamas or Haiti and fight and get anything because I'm not you. So when reparations get doled out, they'll probably come when I'm dead and gone. You don't get shit either. Where are your people buried at? Now, those of you who have children and whatnot that are, interracially bred, there's something for them because you get. So, of course, you want to give yours to them. But the rest of you, you not us. And you young people, I'm sick of your fucking disrespect. I drive for DART here in Dallas, the city transit system. Let me tell you something. 90 to 95% of white people, they will thank you and speak when they get on and off the bus. 80 to 90% of Hispanics speak when they get on and off the bus. 75 to 85% of Asians will speak when they get on or off the bus. 70 to 80% of black guys will speak when they get on or off the bus. 10 to 25% of black women will speak when they get on or off the bus. You young motherfuckers is so disrespectful, and then you got the nerve to want someone to do you a fucking favor. Hey, there's my bus. Could you let me off right here? Fuck you. I hope your bus leaves. If I let you on without paying, you will sneak off the back of the bus. And don't speak. There's no thank you. There's no appreciation. Give a Hispanic person a ticket to get on the bus because they only got a $20 bill or a $10 bill or they were short. They will walk all the way to the front of the bus to thank you. White people will walk all the way to the front of the bus to use the front door to thank you. You young black people, you sneak off the bus and don't say shit. Nothing. Then you want to argue. And you didn't even pay to get on the bus. The bus ride is $3. Like I told the one dude, you a $3 nigga. I can see if you beat somebody for an Escalade or a house or a sack full of money. But you think you got over on a $3 bus ride? Then you a $3 nigga. And now you're mad. But it's more so the youngsters, where you help them out. See, when the Hispanics get on, because they speak and they have respect, and they will tell you when they get on the bus, hey, I don't have all the money, or my card is empty, I got to fill it up when I get home, this, that, and the third. You will help the next Hispanic. Same thing with white people. When they get on, you will help the next white person, the Asian people. But because niggas ain't shit, and I need you to differentiate. I love black people, but I hate niggas. just like the white people do. See, the white people think we all niggas. We know that that's not the case. I love black people. I hate niggas. Niggas make it bad for the next black person who gets on and doesn't have their fare. I don't want to help you. Now, there are black people that you know are working people. And they come to you, hey, driver, I only got $2, or my card is expired. My check hits the night on my direct deposit. Not a problem. Go ahead and sit down. It's the niggas who get on the bus and walk right past me and go sit down. Nigga, you got your fare? Oh, well, then why didn't you tell me that? See, there's a difference between being a man and being a bitch-made motherfucker. As a man, this is your job. I know you here working for the white folks. So if I don't have the fare or whatever, me as a man, as a black man, I will get on here and say, hey, bus driver, I need to catch a ride to work or to where I'm going because I don't have the fare. I lost my ticket. My phone is dead, so I can't show you my pass or whatever. That's what a man does. But a sorry-ass bitch-made nigga, he ain't gonna tell you none of that. He just gonna mob on here and go sit down. Disrespect. Now, when I start talking to you and call you a $3 nigga and you a ain't shit motherfucker, now you feel disrespected and you want to fight. But it never occurred to you that when you got on here, you disrespected me. We quick to disrespect each other. It's like Jackie O and I were talking about Truth Kitchen and Cocktails. It's a black restaurant in downtown Dallas. Back in the late 2021, this black chick was on here twerking in this man's restaurant. He came out and he went off. Like he told him, you don't do that shit here. You know what rent is in downtown Dallas on the corner of Elm and Haskell or whatever? Rent high as giraffe booty that this man is paying. But he tried to make a place that was comparable to the places that the white people go to. This bitch in here twerking. So he went off on her and told everybody else if they don't like it, he didn't need your money and don't bring your ass here. Do you know what was said on social media? That he was wrong for the way he said it. Well, he shouldn't have said that to everybody. He shouldn't have said it like that. And that's the problem in the black community. No accountability. Social media should have been flooded with people talking about her. And I hate to say it, we don't make black women accountable. Anything they do, we let it ride. So they do more stupid shit, and we let it ride. They do more dumb shit, and we let it ride. Where's the accountability? No, she shouldn't have been in there doing that, showing her ass with her hoochie ass. Take that shit to South Dallas. Take that shit to the hood. That man didn't spend all his money and put in all his work and effort for you to be in here shaking your ass in his establishment. But you more concerned about your fucking feelings. How he talked to you. What he said to you. That's the problem in the black community. We no longer hold people accountable for their actions. But a nigga hold you accountable for your fucking actions. Then it's time to you to hold somebody else accountable for theirs. I think he did the right thing. Bitch, don't come in here with that shit no more. I don't need your money. I raised the money to build this place, and I did not build it for you. Shout for one in the main event on pushgapradios.com, the bangingest thing on your urban internet radio dial. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you to each and every one of you who have logged in and downloaded this fucking show. And I haven't been on for weeks because the computer's been in the shop. Hadn't been on for a month before that because I started a new job. We're moving in 60 days, okay? Once we get moved, Pushgap will be back on every week, okay? I'm back on this week because it's a lot of things I needed to talk to you about, okay? Black folk, it's time to start respecting each other. Nobody respects us, and we turn around, we don't want to respect each other, but that's neither here nor there. You've already heard the show. White folks, find you a new planet to go to. Black people will support that. Never average, never mediocre. Online, on point, and on the freaking money. Pushgapradios.com. Pray until something happens. God always provides. At pushgapradios.com, the power is in the name. See you guys on next week. Thank you for being a part of the bangingest thing on your urban internet radio dial. Pushgapradios.com. Dallas, baby.
Pray until something happens. God always provides. At pushgapradios.com, the power is in the name.
Never average, never mediocre. We're online, on point, and on the money. Shaka Ford one in the main event only on pushgapradios.com.
PushGapRadio.com, bridging the gap between old school and new school radio. PushGapRadio.com. It's Dallas, baby.